Same team, new name, new city, different coaching staff. What has this transition been like for you?
Well, a lot of the guys that were here last year are still here, so that makes it a little bit easier. But feel great. Feel like I think Coach Lynn said it the right way. We've worked together now for a few weeks. It's a good feeling with the staff. I'm excited to get back with the players so we can start working with them again. But it's even though there's a lot of unknown, there's a lot of excitement because of who we're working with and because of some of the things that we did last year.
You are the only holdover really that has been in San Diego on the top tier of this coaching staff with the coordinators and the head coach. Is it tough a little bit to leave San Diego but also turning your attention here, wanting to get excited for what's going to happen here?
I think a lot of times as a coach, you get tied to the cities that you're in when you have some success. And it's still every day, it seems like it plays through my mind in 13 when we went the stretch run at the end and we got to the playoffs. And that creates emotional attachments to San Diego. So yeah, it's tough. The people have been great to me, to my family, and it's a great place to play. So it is hard. It's hard to leave, but we don't really have a choice in that matter. So you still, as a coach, even the players, you have to pour everything you got into what you're doing.
This is an offense that showed a lot of positives last season and then also had times when it stalled, had trouble in the red zone or with turnovers, and some of that situational and health related as well. What do you take away from last year and what do you want to really focus on, build on for this coming year?
Well, you hit on two big things right there, the red zone and obviously the turnovers. For most of the season, we were one of the best offenses in the league.
Yes.
We were leading, we were up there at the top scoring, and then we just, whether it was injuries or, we had a lot of different combinations of players at the end, and we just didn't get it done. But there's a lot of exciting things to build off from that. Obviously, the interceptions, the turnovers, and it's not Phillips that you're putting the blame on Phillip, but we've got to cut down on the turnovers, and we want to be better in the red zone. In fairness to everybody involved, when you take away some weapons like Keenan, like Danny, who are really good in the red zone, it will set you back a little bit, but just like what we had in the regular part of our offense, other guys stepped up, and we'll be better this year because of that. So, hopefully we can correct some of those things and be an even better offense this year.
Well, speaking of that, you've got Melvin Gordon, who stepped in for an injured Danny Woodhead and really showed so much growth in his sophomore year. And then you've got Anthony Lynn, who has experience at the running back position as a player and as a coach. Do you foresee even more emphasis on a run game this season?
Well, we did pretty decent in the run game last year. Melvin having 1,000 yards. I know he was 3 shy, but for that as a baseline to build off of that, and like you said, having Anthony Lynn, who's been very good with running backs, is exciting. But I tell you what, I'm really excited for Melvin and the way he stepped up last year. There was a lot of expectations with him the first year that he was here, and that was a tough environment. But last year he really showed a glimpse of what he can become. Now really it's up to Melvin to continue to work the way he did last year and even grow from that. But the thing that we're excited about is what he did, not only as just a runner, but some of the things he did in protection on third down, some of the things he did screen passes. He had, almost 500 yards receiving. And at one point, he led the league in touchdowns. So he goes from 0 to being a league leader. Obviously, going into this season, there'll be a lot of pressure on him because the expectations for him are going to be high.
Finally, this is a team that is making that transition from San Diego to Los Angeles. Do you expect there to be just some challenges that come with that, with new environments and acclimating to a new place and that transition that happens?
Well, nothing's going to really change for us till we get to training camp. That'll be different. But training camp is training camp. It's all football.
You're in a bubble.
Yeah, you're in a bubble. So it doesn't really matter where you're doing training camp because you're doing training camp. So really, the big thing is going to be when the season gets here. But hopefully by that time, you'll be into your routine. The biggest thing when you come into a new place is, my gosh, where am I going to park? What's the locker room going to be like? Where's my locker going to be? Oh my gosh, where am I going to stand on the sideline? All of those things. Look, the first couple of games, they'll be cleared up. Everybody will be, we know where to go. We know, it's another game. So that transition part of it, we'll get past that.